Revealed, Millionaire's heartwarming $8 date with his maid changes both their lives forever. Ryan sat at the bar of his penthouse, staring out at the sprawling cityscape of Chicago, where he should have felt on top of the world. Instead, the glittering skyline felt like a distant, beautiful prison wall. He was a self-made millionaire, living the American dream's sleek suits, fancy cars, and a family that expected him to be the perfect son. The weight of expectation hung around his neck like an anchor. As he thought about the pressures of his life, upcoming charity galas, elite friends whispering behind his back, he felt an undeniable urge to escape, to find a glimpse of something real. On a whim, he stepped into a diner tucked away in a quiet corner of the city. The neon sign flickered warmly, promising comfort in stark contrast to his life. Walking in, he was immediately enveloped by the delightful aroma of pancakes and sizzling bacon. It felt like home. Sitting at the counter, he caught the eye of Maria. Her tired smile, framed by loose strands of hair, instantly intrigued him. "Can I help you?" Maria asked, her voice warm and inviting. She seemed so genuine, so refreshingly real in a world of plastic smiles. Ryan chuckled. "What's your famous special?" $8 for the best burger you'll ever have," she grinned back, her eyes sparkling with joy. With that simple interaction, his walls began to crumble. They started talking, easily transitioning from playful banter to deeper stories. She shared about her life as a single mother hustling between shifts to support her kids, and he talked about the loneliness that draped over him despite his wealth. Suddenly, the weight of their worlds shifted. Ryan's laughter echoed, free from judgment, as Maria effortlessly filled the silence. "Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen." Now let's continue. As days turned into weeks, their bond grew stronger, filled with laughter and late-night coffee runs. Ryan found himself captivated by Maria's spirit and passion, a stark contrast to the hollow conversations he had with his affluent friends. But societal expectations loomed like dark clouds over their lives. Whispers of disgrace and social climbing from his family felt like daggers piercing his heart. Yet each moment spent with Maria stitched together a new purpose. Every conversation stitched intricate patterns of hope into the fabric of his dull existence. Then came the charity gala, a night carefully crafted to reinforce his elite status. Punctuated by champagne glasses and polished smiles, it clashed with every heartbeat he had left with Maria. His family's expectations bore down on him, choking his desire to pursue something genuine. Ryan's breath quickened as he paced in front of the mirror, feeling his heart pound against the gilded cage that held him captive. Would he walk into that gala wearing a mask yet again, or would he break free from the chains and the expectations to follow his heart? The answer felt just out of reach, but as he thought about Maria, everything around him started to blur. The noise dimmed, the pressure lifted, and for the first time in years, he felt alive. He stood at a crossroads, embracing the uncertain but genuine love for Maria. Could he let go of the facade to find solace in the connection that blossomed against all odds? The answer felt closer than he dared to venture, setting the stage for a turning point that could redefine everything. Ryan stepped into the gala, and the dazzling lights of the event momentarily blinded him. It felt like stepping into a theater, where everyone played their roles choreographed by expectations. The room was alive with laughter and clinking glasses, 1,000 conversations swirling into an overwhelming buzz. He wore his best smile, but it felt heavy, choking back the laughter that had come so easily with Maria. As he navigated through the crowd, he could feel his family's eyes on him, scrutinizing his every move. They chatted amongst themselves, glancing up occasionally as if waiting for a slip. He adjusted his cufflinks nonchalantly, trying to shake off the impending sense of disappointment that clung to him like fog. Was he really about to choose this life over the authenticity he found with her? Moments later, he stumbled upon a conversation with his mother. "You look handsome, darling, but you know what would really impress everyone? A strong date to match your status." The way she said strong felt like a judgment drenched in expectation, as if she feared another disgrace, whispering urgently for his adherence to social norms. "If you mean someone like Maria," he trailed off, the thought of her leaking warmth into the evening chill. A sudden surge of anger coursed through him. Why did the world make him choose? Why did love have to come at the cost of status? He excused himself, stepping onto the balcony for air. The cool night settled around him, calming the storm in his heart. He pulled out his phone and dialed Maria's number, his heart racing at the thought of hearing her voice and assurance that things could still feel real. The ringing felt long, a tether back to simplicity and honesty. "Hey, you reached Maria," came her cheerful voice. A small smile broke across his face. "Maria, it's me. I just wanted to hear you," he said, almost breathless. "I miss our chats. It's overwhelming here." "Ryan? Is everything okay?" Her concern wrapped around him like a cozy blanket. "Are you enjoying the gala?" "It's not what I thought it would be." He hesitated, the truth hanging between them. "I feel trapped. I don't know if I can do this anymore." He could hear the shuffling of her life on the other end, her kids' laughter in the background, an echo of the warmth he craved. "Just be yourself, Ryan. That's all anyone wants. Life is too short for masks." Her words struck a chord deep within him, igniting something he thought he had lost forever. The music inside the gala swelled, but it faded into a backdrop against his realization. He didn't have to please anyone. All he wanted was to be with Maria. "I need to go," he said. "I need to make a choice. I'll call you later." As he hung up, the weight on his shoulders felt lighter. This night was no longer about wealth or status. It was about finding his truth. With renewed determination, he turned to go back inside, but something stopped him. The sound of laughter and clinking again mingled in the air. But before he could step through the door, a figure caught his attention. It was Jenna, his ex-girlfriend, the socialite everyone admired. She had an aura that could light up a room, and she was looking right at him, smirking with a glint of mischief in her eyes. "Ryan! There you are! Come here!" Jenna called out, her voice beckoning. There was something in her tone he hadn't heard in years, an old familiarity mixed with the uncertainty of unfinished stories. His heart raced again, caught between the old and the new. What would happen if he faced her? Was this just another distraction, or could it bring clarity to his chaotic feelings? Stepping forward, he faced a new challenge, ready to uncover what lay ahead in the swirl of his past. Ryan hesitated at the threshold, hesitation battling curiosity. Jenna's commanding presence tugged at him, pulling memories from a past he had almost forgotten. He took a breath, stepped forward, and entered the fray again. The gala buzz faded into mere whispers as he approached her. "Jenna," he said, forcing a smile even as his heart raced. "It's been a while." Her laughter danced through the air like musical notes. "Not long enough, it seems. You always did have a knack for disappearing when things got real." Her eyes sparkled, seeming to assess him anew as though they were peers now, instead of someone on a pedestal looking down at him. "Yeah, well, it's hard to be real in a place like this," he replied, glancing around as if to gauge whether his sincerity would be met with disdain. "Touché." Jenna mockingly raised an eyebrow, then softened her tone. "But look at you, Ryan. You clean up well. Everyone has got their eyes on you." "Right." His voice trailed off as he caught sight of his parents scanning the room, their faces filled with expectation. But here, he felt something shift. Jenna wasn't just an old flame, she was a reminder of a different time, one when he felt free. "Do you remember that summer we spent at your uncle's cabin?" she asked suddenly, her gaze turning wistful. "Hiking trails and swimming in the lake. It was just us, away from the expectations. I miss that." "Yeah, me too," he admitted, and for a fleeting moment the noise around them dimmed. He could almost smell the pine trees, hear the splashes, and feel the warmth of sun-soaked days. Jenna leaned in closer, lowering her voice. "You don't have to keep pretending, Ryan. You never have to. Look at you. You're standing at the precipice of something big. Your choice tonight could change everything for you. Her expression was earnest, and for the first time that evening, he felt seen. He smiled, but it was a bittersweet one. It's scary to think about. Scary sometimes opens the best doors, she interjected, genuine encouragement wrapped in an easy confidence. Before he could respond, the laughter from the crowd grew louder. A few partygoers had gathered nearby, attempting to capture moments on their phones, obliviously intruding on their private conversation. Jenna glanced at them, then turned back to Ryan, her demeanor sharp again. Hey! Why don't I get you a drink? You look like you need one, she suggested, her playful tone returning. Besides, it's always more fun to play the part with a good cocktail in hand. Sure, he replied, caught off guard by how quickly the conversation had turned from warmth to flirtation. As she walked away to fetch the drinks, Ryan felt the weight of his choices looming large once again. Jenna was a part of his past, and here they were, dancing around the edges of nostalgia. But Maria was his present, and possibly his future. The bittersweetness of his feelings intertwined like an unshakable vine, clinging fiercely to two lives. Before long, Jenna returned, handing him a glass that shimmered with fizzy bubbles. Here's to the past, and to whatever you decide next. She raised her glass with a grin. Cheers, he said, clinking his glass against hers but not truly savoring the taste. Instead, he found himself questioning what paths he was truly willing to explore. Suddenly, the DJ switched tracks to a slow, soulful tune. Seeing couples dance, swaying close and whispering sweet nothings, struck him hard. The pang in his chest echoed the unrelenting truth. He longed to feel connected again, like he did with Maria. Dance with me? Jenna asked, tilting her head in that familiar way that had always enchanted him. In that moment, confused yet certain of his spiraling thoughts, he glanced toward the exit. Just beyond the crowds, he could imagine Maria waiting for him, just a phone call away. With Jenna's hand still extended, he faced the crossroads once more. Would he drift into the warmth of the familiar or chase the spark of something real? This moment of decision felt electric, but the question looming over it all was whether he was prepared to truly discover what he wanted, or would he let the easy path of his past lead him away from his chance at genuine happiness? What choice would he make? Ryan looked down at Jenna's outstretched hand, his heart pounding against his chest like a drum. He thought about Maria, the warmth of her smile, and how her laughter felt like sunshine. But there was Jenna, with memories that pulled him back like a shadow he couldn't shake off. As he took her hand, he forced a smile, stepping into the moment, feeling the weight of nostalgia wrapped around them both. The warmth of her palm ignited something he had buried deep, an undeniable connection that felt both thrilling and disorienting. They glided onto the dance floor, the soft melody wrapping around them like a warm blanket. Jenna was a skilled dancer, moving with a grace that captivated him. As they swayed, Ryan felt his pulse quicken. She looked up at him, the mischief dancing in her eyes, as if she could see through him. "You're still the same," she teased, a playful smile tugging at the corners of her lips. "Caught between the past and the future." "Maybe," he replied, unsure of where the truth lay. He could hear the faint laughter echoing from the other side of the room, the hum of conversations drifting by, but all he felt was her, and the memories that rushed back as they spun. Then the music shifted, and so did the mood. Suddenly, everything became a blur, the ambient laughter morphing into a muffled backdrop as Jenna leaned in closer, her breath warm against his ear. "What's holding you back, Ryan?" The question hung between them like an uninvited guest. He could feel the weight of it, the truth he'd been avoiding bubbling to the surface. "I guess I'm just scared." "Of what?" Her blue eyes held his, steady and unyielding. "Of making the wrong choice," he said, feeling vulnerability seep into his voice. "Of letting go of what I've known, what felt safe. I don't want to hurt anyone." "And what about your happiness?" She pressed gently, nudging him to confront the unspoken. The rhythm of their dance slowed, matching the tempo of his racing thoughts. He wanted to be honest, to share the conflict gnawing at him like a relentless tide. "Maria is everything I've dreamed of. But I can't help but wonder, she interrupted, if you're really being true to yourself. So much pressure, so many expectations. When will you start to live for you? His breath hitched. The words struck a chord he didn't know was there. It shouldn't be this hard. No, she said softly, her face inches from his. But sometimes, the right choice doesn't come easy. Choose to be free, to be real. The room blurred again, their world narrowing down to the warmth of their shared moment. As they finished the dance, Jenna pulled back, evaluation playing across her features. You deserve more than safe. You deserve happiness. Ryan's heart raced, clashing emotions filling the space between them. The heat of the moment faded, leaving in its wake a harsh clarity. He had a choice to make, a choice that wasn't just about him, but also about the people who loved him. As the song ended, he felt a familiar ache, one that jolted him back to Maria. A breath caught in his throat, he felt pulled in both directions, one leading to a hazy comfort, the other to the unknown. Jenna seemed to sense the shift, her smile gentle but knowing. Hey, she said, her voice almost a whisper. You don't have to make a decision right now. Just remember what you want, and fight for it. But as he stepped back, surveying the crowded room, he knew the time would come when he needed to make a choice. He turned to her, heart racing, yet an unsettling calm washed over him. Thanks for the dance, Jenna. I need to think. Without another word, he slipped through the throng of partygoers, the sharp taste of anxiety lingering. The gala suddenly felt stifling, oppressing him like a dark cloud. He caught a glimpse of Maria laughing in the corner, the warmth of her smile wrapping around his heart. He needed clarity, the kind that only came when he was alone. But first, he had to step away from the noise. Just as he reached the exit, his phone buzzed in his pocket, producing a familiar jolt through his body. It was a message from Maria. Ryan, where are you? I've been looking for you. It felt like both an anchor and a lifeline. Before he could process it, he had to decide, would he answer and face what that choice meant, or would he follow the pull of the past that still haunted him? He paused at the door, torn between two worlds, with no clear answer in sight. How could he possibly choose? Ryan stared at the glowing screen, his heart pounding heavier now. The message from Maria felt like a lifeline, threading him back to the joy he felt when he was with her, the plans they had together, all the dreams that sparkled in her eyes when she looked at him. But then there was Jenna, who stirred a different kind of fire within him, one that whispered of possibilities uncharted. He stepped outside, the cool air wrapping around him like a balm on his racing thoughts. The sounds from the gala dimmed, letting the chirps of the night crickets and the rustle of leaves fill the silence. He took a deep breath, trying to clear his mind of the confusion swirling inside him. Ryan felt the tug of his heart, longing for clarity. He could answer Maria now, bring her sweet smile to his mind, but a part of him was still rattled by Jenna's words. They echoed against the shroud of doubt that enveloped him. What did he really want? He closed his eyes. Maria was safety, warmth, love, but Jenna awoke something deeper, something raw and real. What if he was choosing a life of mere comfort over one filled with potential? With a swift motion, he opened the message to type a response, but another thought struck him. Maybe he didn't need to answer right now. Maybe he needed to see Maria in person, to feel the space between them and allow his heart to guide him. He turned away from the door, feeling the gravel crunch beneath his feet as he made his way back into the hall. The energy enveloped him again, pulling him deeper into the vibrant atmosphere. Ryan spotted Maria, her laughter harmonizing with the joyous chaos around her. She radiated happiness, and seeing her smile lit something in his chest. But just then, he saw Jenna across the room, raising her glass to him, her eyes sparkling with a knowing smile. The sight sent a jolt of longing through him like a spark igniting a fire deep within. Should he talk to her one more time? Would it help clear the fog clouding his thoughts? No. He needed to face Maria. He needed to own this moment, even if it meant confronting his own fears. As he approached Maria, he felt as if everything around them faded into a blur. The music faded, conversations hushed, it was just her and him. Hey, he said, attempting to read her expression. Where were you? She asked, her brow furrowed but softened by her gentle smile. I was starting to worry. I just needed a moment, he started, grappling with the words that felt lodged in his throat. I saw Jenna, and it reminded me of things I thought I had left behind. A flicker of concern crossed Maria's face. You've been friends for a long time, Ryan. It's okay to feel those connections still. It is, but I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to make the wrong choice. The weight of his confession hung heavy between them, filling the space with tension. Their eyes locked, a mix of concern and understanding passing between them. Ryan, she said softly, reaching for his hand. Whatever you decide, I just want you to be happy. You deserve that. Her words struck him deep. Happiness. Was it so simple, or was it deeply complicated? Suddenly, just then, the lights flickered and a hush spread across the crowd. Ryan glanced back at Jenna, who was watching him intently, and suddenly everything felt electric with uncertainty. He was standing at a precipice, wholeheartedly knowing change was inevitable. But which way would he jump? The moment of truth was fast approaching, the music swelled and the tension thickened. What would he ultimately choose when the music faded and the applause fell silent? In that instant, a crucial decision loomed large before him, waited to unravel everything. Would he stay safe, or would he dare to leap into the unknown? Ryan felt the weight of Maria's hand in his, grounding him, but the electricity between them buzzed with tension. He searched her eyes desperately for answers, a flicker of reassurance that everything would be okay. But all he saw was love mingled with an apprehensive light. She, too, was on the edge, and no words seemed capable of bridging the distance created by his doubts. Ryan, let us step outside for a moment, Maria suggested, her voice steadier than her eyes. They moved together toward a balcony, the sounds of the gala quickly fading to a distant murmur. The cool rush of air wrapped around them, drawing a stark contrast to the warmth that pulsed between his heart and the uncertainty in his mind. Standing there, leaning against the balcony railing, he looked out over the city lights twinkling like stars brought down to earth. Maria sighed, and he could feel the weight of her thoughts swirling in the air around them. Do you remember the first time we came here? She asked, her eyes sparkling with nostalgia. We stood right here, dreaming about our future like it was just within reach. A smile tugged at his lips. The memory was vivid, a warm reminder of simpler days. He could almost hear their laughter dancing in the cool breeze, promises exchanged like vows. Yet now, that light felt complicated, tainted with uncertainty. I remember, he murmured. I wished it could last forever. And it can. Just think about it, Ryan. It's not just about not hurting anyone. It's about finding what fills you with joy. She turned to him, her gaze firm. What if joy isn't enough? The words slipped out before he could catch them. Joy is everything. Her voice softened, an embracing warmth that filled the night. You deserve to feel alive, even if it's scary. Ryan groaned inwardly. Feelings tangled like vines in his heart, life, certainty, the potential for heartbreak. I just don't know which path leads to real happiness, he admitted. What if I choose the wrong one? The wrong choice. It's a part of life, Maria replied, her conviction unwavering. We can't control every outcome, but we can choose who we want to walk with on the journey. You just have to trust yourself. He watched her, each moment swelling with intensity. Maria held the potential for a safe future, a sanctuary built on love. But each time he thought of her, Jenna's laughter echoed in his mind, igniting a flame of passion he had nearly forgotten. As silence engulfed them, Ryan was struck by the enormity of his fears and desires. He turned, glancing back toward the gathering, where Jenna stood, her radiant presence pulling him like a gravitational force. What if she is the adventure I need? Maria reached for him again, pulling his attention back. Ryan, you don't have to figure this out alone. You can talk to me. But the moment of connection felt fleeting. Still, a core of doubt rumbled in his chest as he weighed his love for Maria against the unknown that Jenna represented. I need to think, he finally said, the urgency of his voice echoing in the night. Maria nodded, but her eyes betrayed her heartbreak. Just promise me you'll choose what's right for you. I will, he replied softly, though he knew he was edging closer to a choice that would irrevocably change everything. As they stepped back inside, he felt the pull of both women more than ever, each representing a different life, a different choice. He wasn't ready, yet he could hear the dancing laughter, the music beckoning him forward into the chaotic swirl of emotions that awaited. Would he find solace in the familiar arms of love, or would he dare to explore the thrilling edge of the unknown? The music swelled anew, drowning the air in a beat that matched the racing rhythm of his heart. Ryan stood poised on the precipice of decision, knowing the next moment could either seal his fate or set him free. Would he finally leap into the depths of his true desires? The noise of the gala surged as Ryan and Maria re-entered the beautifully adorned hall, vibrant decorations glowing under soft lights. Laughter and chatter filled the air, but Ryan's mind was in turmoil, caught between two worlds. Each heartbeat seemed louder, an urgent reminder of the choice he faced. He scanned the crowd, his gaze landing on Jenna. She was animated, engaged in conversation with friends, her hair glinting like spun gold. Seeing her brought a wave of something thrilling, a reminder of what it felt like to embrace the unknown. Maria's voice gently pierced through his daze. "Are you okay?" "Just thinking," he replied, forcing a smile. She deserved that much. About what? Her brow furrowed, keenly attuned to his turmoil. "I don't know," he mumbled, feeling the words twist in his throat. How could he explain the tug-of-war waging inside him? Maria looked at him, searching for clarity. "It's okay to feel uncertain. I know this is hard. But don't shut me out." And there it was, the crux of his dilemma. Maria represented stability, comfort, and a love he had always relied on. Yet Jenna was the spark, the uncharted territory his heart craved. "I don't want to hurt you," Ryan confessed, the raw honesty spilling out. "But you have to be true to yourself, Ryan." Her voice softened. "We both deserve that." His chest felt tight. He wanted to scream in frustration. Decisions were never easy, and this one felt like a storm raging at sea. Just when he thought he had a handle on his emotions, a glimpse of Jenna laughing sent a thrill shooting through him. Maybe I should just talk to her, Ryan thought, half to himself. The idea felt liberating, but with it came the weight of consequence. "Ryan?" He looked back at Maria. "I need a moment." Before she could protest, he weaved through the crowd, desperate to confront the turmoil rooted deeply in his heart. Jenna stood by the bar, laughter bubbling like effervescent champagne. "Hey," he said, trying to sound casual, but his heart beat furiously. "Ryan! You made it!" Jenna's smile lit her face, and he felt a warmth spread through him. "You've been MIA. Is everything okay?" "Not exactly." He shifted, gauging her expression. Would she sense the conflict swirling inside him? Oh, her brow creased with genuine concern. "Do you want to talk about it? We could," he hesitated, "grab some fresh air?" "Sure." She beamed at him, and despite his anxiety, he felt a wave of relief wash over him. They moved together toward a quieter corner, the cacophony of the party dimming behind them. As they stepped onto the patio, the cool breeze enveloped them, and Ryan inhaled deeply, searching for the right words. The stars twinkled above, mocking him with their simplicity while he wrestled with complexities that made his heart race. "What's on your mind, Ryan?" Jenna's voice was soft but steady, drawing him in. "I just need to figure out what I really want." Jenna tilted her head, her gaze steady. "It sounds like there's a lot weighing on you. Remember, you can always choose to follow what feels right." He studied her for a moment, the comfort in her presence palpable. "But what if what feels right could break someone else's heart?" Jenna's smile faded slightly, revealing the understanding behind her eyes. "Life is messy, Ryan. Sometimes we have to tread those waters, make the tough choices." As he grappled with his thoughts, Ryan realized that he was at a fork in the road. One choice led back to familiarity, while the other promised an exhilarating uncertainty filled with potential. The weight of their moment hung in the air as he took a step closer to her, his breath hitching. Would he dare to say what was truly in his heart? Just then, a voice from the crowd called out, breaking their connection, and Ryan's mind swirled with everything left unsaid. Ryan? Maria's voice echoed behind him, and the finality of what his next move would mean loomed larger. Caught between two worlds, he stood frozen, the moment vibrating with unanswered questions. Would he reveal his feelings to Jenna or retreat to the refuge of what he had known with Maria? The outside chill prickled his skin, mingling with the heat of expectation building inside him. The moment of truth was upon him. Which path would he choose as the night unfurled its mysteries? Ryan felt trapped between two powerful forces, the warmth of Jenna's gaze and the familiar voice of Maria behind him. The party continued to pulse with life, laughter mingling with music, but to Ryan, it all faded into a distant hum. His heart thumped wildly, as if it too were deciding which path to take. Ryan? The soft call from Maria held a tone he recognized all too well, a mix of concern and alarm. He could almost hear the whisper of unspoken fears in her tone. She would know something was off. He couldn't turn back now, not when he felt the raw energy of possibility hanging in the air. Jenna shifted slightly, allowing space for Ryan to close the gap between them. You look like you're about to explode. What are you really thinking? Her eyes sparked with curiosity and compassion, a combination that made his heart swell. It was almost like she could read the whirlwind within him. He began, but the words caught in his throat. They felt too big, too heavy, too loaded with meaning. How could he articulate the tangle of emotions? Jenna smiled gently, a spark of understanding sparking between them. It's okay to be scared. You don't have to rush it. Her empathy was disarming, and for a brief moment, he felt the fear dissipate, replaced by something sweeter, a connection that felt fresh and electric. I don't want to hurt Maria. She has always been there for me. The words tumbled out. They had weight, and he felt them settle in the air, heavy with truth. I get that, Jenna said softly. But you can't pretend to be someone you're not. Maybe you owe it to yourself and her to be honest. What do you really want? Caught in the tender sincerity of her gaze, he found the courage to look deep within. He had been living in a world where he played safe, but now he felt the thirst for something more. A life of vibrant choices. As he took a shaky breath, glancing at the party now dimmed by doubt, he saw fragments of memories flood his mind, shared laughter with Maria, quiet evenings, safety. But next to those flickered visions of spontaneous adventures, late-night conversations, and unfiltered joy with Jenna. Can I be honest? He asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Always, Jenna replied, her eyes wide with expectation. I wish I could blend both worlds. I want the comfort and love I have known, he said slowly, allowing the truth to grow bolder, but there's this pull towards something more, something exhilarating. The confession felt like a weight lifted. Jenna took a step closer, her expression so open and sincere. That's the first step, Ryan. Acknowledge it. Just think about it, what if you let that pull guide you? He hesitated, knowing that this moment could change everything. What if I go for it and fail? What if I lose Maria in the process? With a gentle smile, Jenna replied, you must decide which risk scares you more, staying in your safe bubble or stepping into the unknown. Life is all about choices. Ryan's heart raced, and he felt the undeniable warmth spreading through him with her words. Suddenly, everything seemed possible, even the thought of telling Jenna what stirred deep inside. Ryan, just before Jenna could finish, Maria stepped forward, the concern in her eyes morphing into something sharper. There you are. I was looking everywhere for you. Jenna stepped back, the moment broken. Ryan felt the realization of their conversation hit him hard. He had a decision to make, and the time was running out. Hey, Maria, he stammered, forcing a smile that felt like a mask. Just catching up with Jenna. The coolness in Maria's gaze flickered with doubt. You okay? You seemed really deep in thought. And just like that, Ryan's heart sank, knowing he couldn't hide from either of them anymore. Every second stretched painfully as the words he wanted to say hovered just beyond his reach. But the deeper he delved into his thoughts, the more he understood this was just the beginning. Could he finally choose his own path without tearing apart the boundaries he'd lived within for so long? With Maria looking at him expectantly, Ryan wrestled with a rising tide of emotion that begged to be freed, and the stakes felt higher than ever. How would he navigate this new territory when every choice could lead down a path he'd never imagined? The answer loomed just out of reach. Ryan felt the weight of Maria's piercing gaze. It was as if she could sense the internal battle raging inside him, and it made his heart race in a way that mixed fear and desperation. He realized that his next words could redefine everything. For a moment, he was frozen, the world around him blurring as he focused solely on his own thoughts. "Are you sure you're all right?" Maria asked again, her voice strained with worry. "Yeah, I'm good," he replied hastily, even though inside he felt anything but. He glanced at Jenna, wishing for just one more moment. They had been teetering on the edge of something beautiful, but now he felt himself being pulled back into the safety of the past. "Let us get some fresh air," Maria suggested, her tone softening as she took his hand. The warmth of her touch jolted him. They had shared so many moments like this, hand-holding on quiet walks, fits of laughter under the stars. But tonight felt different. Tonight he was no longer sure if those moments were enough. He glanced back at Jenna, whose expression was a mix of empathy and something else that tugged at his heart. Ryan wanted to run to her, to embrace that vibrant world she represented. But there was Maria, her concern etched deeply in her features. How could he bear to hurt her? "Okay," he said, letting Maria lead him to the quieter porch outside. Once they were away from prying eyes, the chaotic sounds of the party became muffled. The cool air brushed against his skin, but the tension inside him only intensified. "What has been going on, Ree?" Maria asked, her gaze unwavering. Ryan could see the flicker of worry in her eyes. She was searching for the truth, and he was playing an elaborate game of hide and seek with his feelings. I've been thinking about life, I guess." "Life? Or us?" she pressed, intuition piquing her interest. The question hung heavy in the air, and for a brief moment, he was struck by the enormity of it all. "Both, I think." The admission left him feeling exposed. Maria crossed her arms, her brows knitting in confusion. "Are you having second thoughts? About us?" He felt like he was standing on a tightrope, the ground swaying beneath him. "It's complicated. Things feel different now, and what do you mean?" She interrupted, a sharp note creeping into her voice. Ryan shook his head, frustration seeping in. "I don't want to hurt you, Maria. You've always been my rock, but there's something shifting inside of me, something I can't ignore." She searched his face, searching for answers. "So what? You're just going to throw everything away? Our time together? It means something, doesn't it?" "Of course it does!" he exclaimed. His voice rose, cracking under pressure. "But I feel like I'm suffocating. I want to live, to explore, to figure out who I really am." Silence stretched between them. Maria's expression softened, but confusion mingled with hurt. "Do you think it's something out there that will make you happy?" "No," he replied, his voice calmer now. "I think it's something in here," he pointed to his chest. "Then maybe we can work through this together?" she suggested slowly, her voice trembling slightly. "I don't want to lose you. We can find a new rhythm, build something different if that's what you need." The desperation in her words broke through his resolve. "But I don't want you to feel like you have to change for me, Maria. That's not fair." She stepped closer, eyes glistening. "But it's not just you deciding, Ryan. I deserve to know where you really stand. Please be honest." Now he was at a crossroads, torn between the love that had always felt safe and the fiery passion that sparked in Jenna's presence. Ryan felt himself teeter toward the cliff of revelation. He wanted to open up, to spill everything out, but fear constricted his voice. Maybe I need some space to figure this out," he finally said, wishing for anything to take the sting off his words. Her face fell, realization settling in. "Space? To what end?" "Just space," he murmured as Maria's expression darkened. He turned away, needing to escape the weight of her eyes. The impending sense of loss. With confusion writhing within him, he looked back toward the party, where laughter flickered like light against the shadows of doubt. Jenna stood near the edge of the crowd, observing. What would happen if he stepped into that light? Ryan's pulse quickened. Could he find the courage to face what he truly wanted? Would he find Jenna waiting for him, or would he lose everything in the process? The answers loomed close yet felt impossibly distant, just waiting for him to take that first step. Ryan stood on the balcony, the cool breeze wrapping around him like a comforting embrace while the waves of emotions crashed against his heart. He had been wavering on the edge for too long, tethered between two worlds. The vibrant laughter from the gala inside drifted away, leaving him in a stark moment of clarity. He watched as Maria's eyes shimmered with hurt and confusion. He felt the weight of everything he had ever known, her unwavering support, the warmth they had shared. But alongside that, he felt the exhilarating chaos and urge to break free into the unknown, to explore the wild, passionate spark he saw in Jenna's presence. He felt stretched taut like a bowstring, ready to snap. Ryan, Maria's voice trembled, drawing him back to the present. You're scaring me. Just tell me what you want. His heart raced, battling the instinct to retreat back into safety. I want the truth, he finally admitted, feeling raw and exposed. I want to know who I am and what I really want. I need to take this leap. For a brief moment, Maria froze, the reality of his words settling into the air between them. Tears welled in her eyes, reflecting the pain of her fears. But what if that leap leads away from us? From everything we've built? Are you willing to risk that? Silence enveloped them. Ryan's heart hammered in his chest. The magnitude of his choice felt overwhelming. He knew, from the very depths of his soul, that keeping himself captive wasn't a life he could continue. The images flickered in his mind, moments with both women, the laughter with Maria, the excitement with Jenna. Each had its own beauty, but only one anchored him firmly with warmth. Maria, he began, but the words were lost in the tide of emotion washing over him. He wanted to comfort her, wanted her to know how much she truly meant to him. But he couldn't hide behind fear anymore. Please, just be honest with me, Ryan, she whispered, desperation creeping into her voice. He took a deep breath, steeling himself. I need to go, to figure things out, to understand who I truly am without the weight of everyone else's expectations. I don't want to leave you with broken promises, but I can't stay where I feel trapped. The air thickened with tension, each confession hanging heavy. For the first time, he felt utterly vulnerable, but there was also an undeniable thrill coursing through him, a confirmation of the journey ahead. Is it really Jenna that you want? Maria pressed, uncertainty flickering in her eyes. No, he said firmly, it's not just about her. It's about me finding my voice, my spirit. I need to be my own person, to choose what truly brings me joy. Maria's expression shifted, pain brewing amidst understanding. Then go. Explore who you are. But know that I'll be here, waiting. With that, something inside Ryan shifted. The finality was bittersweet, like saying goodbye to a beloved chapter in his life while opening a door to a new one. They shared one last lingering look, both filled with love and sorrow. With determination coursing through his veins, he stepped away, heading back inside. The lively chatter and vibrant lights enveloped him, but his focus was clear. He soon spotted Jenna across the room, her laughter still pulling at him like a magnet. Yet he understood the truth that this moment wasn't merely about choosing between two women. It was about embracing who he wanted to become as a whole. Ryan walked toward Jenna, a fire igniting within. This was the moment for him to embrace the unknown with courage. As he reached her, her eyes lit up like fireworks, a spark of something beautiful. Hey you, she said, drawn into his energy. Hey, he replied, a smile breaking across his face. With newfound confidence, he leaned in closer, feeling the warmth radiating between them. I want to find out who I am. With you. The moment crackled with electricity, the start of a new chapter brimming with potential. It wasn't just about the thrill of the chase anymore. It was about authenticity, about stepping into the future with an open heart. No more masks. At that moment, he knew the leap had begun. Life was no longer a series of wait options but an exhilarating adventure on the horizon. As they danced under the sparkling lights, optimistic laughter blurring the lines of what was and what could be, Ryan realized he had chosen more than just her. He had chosen himself, the person he was meant to be, free to love and live passionately and fully. Now, make sure to subscribe immediately to this channel so you don't miss the next exclusive stories that will inspire you even more. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm, and comment below your reactions to this incredible transformation. Don't wait not even one more second to share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this emotional journey. Only true fans understand the importance of supporting the channel through these actions.